This is a very exciting part of our lesson right now. We're looking at our bass and treble pieces. Bass clef. As you can see here, no chords. There are no chords. My personal philosophy, being a jazz pianist and coming from that particular angle in music, I've found it's more creative for kids especially, and adults too, to get comfortable reading a right hand, the treble clef first. And I think you'll find that way you are much more in control of being able to focus on the left hand reading a note as well if your right hand is really comfortable. Just try to imagine learning new notes in your right hand and new notes in the left hand and looking at them both at the same time. Makes it much more difficult. So my approach, by introducing the bass and treble pieces, at this point in our musical development, you already know how to count. You know your notes quite well, up to at least A right now, and which of the notes we're going to be using, and which will make your focus on the left hand bass clef much, much better, okay? And you'll learn it. And the end result will be you'll be able to play these much, much easier than if you were to try to introduce the bass clef at an earlier time, okay? We will be featuring a bass and treble pieces with every single Piano for Kids tune coming up for the rest of the method, okay? So at this particular point, this is kind of a way for right now. We're going to do piece number 2 and the piece number 3 right now. This is very important to as our intro pieces to get tuned into these and really understand what they're all about, okay? And you'll see that the left hand, you got middle C, and the new note we're looking at right now is the B, and it's right next door. It's right next door. This is what we're looking at right here. C and B in the left hand. That's all we got. Okay, we're going to record this in because this has a duet as well, which makes it really fun. And we're going to play this in with a metronome. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and use a little fingerings there to help you through. See how that works? Okay, left hand very, very inactive. Okay, hardly anything going on. Whole notes makes it easy. To get it up to 120, it's another story. It's still a challenge. Okay, what we're going to do now, let's take it up a little bit. Let's go to 80. No, let's keep it at 70. Let's keep it at 70. I'm going to play the bassoon again, my favorite bassoon, because it really lets you hear my second part. I'm going to record this over. I'm going to play the piece duet. A lot of eighth notes here, and you got to use the fingering, especially in the fifth measure, the second line. You'll see starting on G, it runs almost like a C scale, almost like a G scale without the F sharp. But you're going to make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, thumb under, okay, in order to be able to play that quickly enough. Okay, so let's watch. This is really a cool one. Okay, 1, 2, 4, and 1 and 2 and. And as we always like to do, we like to really hear these a little quicker. Okay, let's play them at 120 so you can hear them, and then I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, I'll give you a good taste of what it's like to play bass and treble now. Here we go. Second one. Okay, now let's go over to our intro piece, the bass and treble, piece number 3. Okay, and again, what we're going to do now is we're looking at the A. We're looking at the A note now. Take a look at this. This is really a cool way to learn the bass clef. I'm going C, and we get B, and now we're looking at the A. Okay, and you'll see I get the fingering there too. 3, 2, 1. So what you get in here is you got to be very careful to be setting your hand up in position here. the hands, the thumbs are going to almost like cross. Okay, here we go. Ready? And we'll take a tempo. Let's bring it down to 70. Okay, and all set to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and let's go right on now to applying our duet. Again, use the fingering. Fingering is going to be important. Okay, I know I repeat myself several times here, but without the correct fingering, you'll never be able to play this in time at this tempo. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and... Let's listen to it back now at that 120. Okay, here we go. Very difficult, okay? So, as you're learning piece number 2, piece number 3, keep in mind that the counting is going to be one of the more important aspects of playing these, in addition to playing the correct fingering. The fingering is going to be important. So, left hand, we learned C, B note, and the A note. And on the duets, you're playing just the right hand, and they got to connect with these. It's a rather complex stuff going on here, and you're really going to find that, with all those eighth notes moving around, it makes it really kind of challenging. And you're going to make sure you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's enjoy this bass and treble introduction here, and we're going to be assuring ourselves that we'll be doing a lot more of this in the songs to come.